this morning, and it was I would say it's very cordial, it was very constructive. I hope she feels the same way. I think she does. And we, at the conclusion of that meeting, felt that it was really important that we express our, greatest level of cooperation possible and collaborating with them on coming up with a policy that affects not just the Warriors, but at all events at Chase Center over at least the next 2 weeks. We don't know what happens. After that, the city will reevaluate their position. I was in touch with the NBA immediately after the meeting with the mayor, and the NBA agreed the best way forward for us was to play tomorrow night's game without fans. So that is what we're planning to do. There is, as has been widely reported, a call with all 30 teams this afternoon where the league will conduct a discussion about the way forward for our season. As San Francisco has really been the first domino to fall here, I think there's a lot of speculation that other cities will look at what San Francisco is doing, and we potentially could have other NBA cities affected the way we are in the not too distant future. So it's a developing story. We don't know how it's going to end, and you will probably know as soon as we know a lot of the information that's going to come forward from here. So you want to talk about our team?
Yeah, this is brand new stuff for myself, Rick, our players. I'm sure everybody here and listening or watching. But we've been taught since we were young, and rightly so, that health is the first priority in life, and that's what we message to our players. A lot of them have families, have parents, have kids, and understood what's going on here, and it's bigger than the Warriors. It's a serious situation, and so there's a lot of different opinions on what should be done, what could be done, but I think we would all agree. And we're also always taught it's better to be safe than sorry. So we're choosing that course along with the city. And Rick's done a tremendous job trying to figure this all out. And it hasn't been easy because the ground is shifting under our feet. I expect that to continue to happen. But as far as the response of our coaching staff, our players, it was somber. This is not something I imagine any of them have ever done or will have to do. They're professionals, they're human beings, we'll be okay. We feel for the workers, mostly, the low-income wage earners that count on working our games. I think if you're going to have empathy, have it for them, not for us. We play basketball. It's a big business, but we're just playing basketball. There's a lot more important things going on out there. So, luckily we have good leadership in Rick and our owner, Joe and Peter. Steve Kerr is a great steward that we have to lead our players. But it's a sobering moment to enter into this kind of unknown. And we're just like you guys. We'll do the best we can as information becomes more available.
I want to follow up on Bob's point because I think we have 1,500 part-time employees who have their jobs because of Chase Center and the events that we have here. And for me, this is the hardest part because we do have a number of those who live paycheck to paycheck, who this is going to impact a lot more. It's going to impact our players, me or Bob or anybody in this room. So I don't want that to get lost in the conversation about what something like this means in terms of its impact to our city, because it goes way beyond the core business of playing NBA basketball games, for sure.
All right, got a question, raise your hand and we'll bring you the microphone.
Rick, San Francisco officials certainly made it known publicly that they were looking for this maybe even a little earlier. Was there discussion, was that opinion made known to you that San Francisco officials wanted maybe even last night's game or even Saturday's game to fall under this?
We were given a heads up on the city's directive before it happened. I'd say probably in communications with the mayor's office 10 times a day. We implemented CDC guidelines 2 weeks before that declaration by the city. This is the cleanest arena in the world. And we did not feel based on the best advice that we could get that anyone was being put at risk. And so every day these change. We said at the same time that the circumstances change every day, and I feel the circumstances have changed. And you know what I want to express to the mayor today was just like, we're in this together. We're all in this together, and we're going to do whatever we can to cooperate and do the responsible things. So you know, we felt there was a tipping point, and we're at that tipping point. And whether or not this is the right course of action, the wrong course of action, you know, somebody will come back a year from now and decide whether the decisions that were made were smart at the time they were made them, and hopefully we're doing the right thing.
How on the table was canceling the game altogether, and how on the table do you think it still is moving forward for the league?
Yeah, impossible to know, right? There was no discussion of canceling tomorrow night, either with the city or you know, with essential personnel only, or with the NBA. So that didn't come up. It wasn't raised in our discussion, but you know, this afternoon's call, and I'm sure a lot of calls after that will determine what the way forward is going to be.
Oh, you were talking about the impact on your your wage employees, the ushers, people like that. Is there anything the team can do to you know, soften that blow? And I know I'm asking you guys to play Santa Claus, but
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I think you're seeing it both at the city level. I hope you see a lot of it in terms of things that may change related, and federal government, actually, even our federal government's talking about some changes in the way taxes are assessed and things like that. That would be of help. We're going to be supportive in any way we can. It's like we have a business model that depends on hosting live events, so we're in a tough spot there. But I think, you know, we're all in this together. Our government has, I think, an obligation here, our city government, our county government, our federal government, our state, to understand the impact, not just on our 1,500 workers, but on the thousands of other workers that fall into exactly the same category. And you know, I hope we are sympathetic to that, and I hope we do things that are going to help.
Rick, the statement said no fans, but does that mean no committed